Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to another round of the RWB International. I'm not even going to try and say the Deutsche Tourenwagen Masters 2016 DTM Racing. You are just welcomed by myself tonight. Unfortunately, no one else has been able to turn up, and I think Tiger has had guests. The real reason that no one else has turned up tonight is because I've turned up to a commentary box tonight. And it looks like Tiger's had a heavy session. There's vomit on the floor. There's cake and spirits on the table. It's pretty disgraceful, actually. So, unfortunately, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, you've only got myself to contend with. We are live on YouTube, and we are live on the YouTube chat. We have got some ballast. We've got some information on all the drivers tonight, and we've got some actual track information tonight. Tonight they are racing on the Euro Speedway Laus. Basically, this is located in East Germany, about 30 minutes from Dresden, or a little over an hour from Berlin. This is a combination of 16 circuits, but mostly common used as a GP circuit. It's 2.8 miles long. It's consisting of 10 turns, 5 left and 5 right, one very fast left at T1, S's at T2 and T3, a parabolica at T4 and T5, and an offset parabolica at T6. Another S's section at T8, T9, fast left at T10 onto a main straight, which is 500 metres with a back straight of 410 metres. I'm really looking forward to this race tonight and the actual track itself, because the actual track dynamic is going to catch a lot of people out on the first corner, and it's going to catch a lot of people out on the last corner as well. I think we're definitely going to see some action. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're currently on board with RWB Helmet. It's a pleasure to see him back on track. After the last 2 weeks of racing, he's not been able to join you on track. He's been with us in the commentator's box. He's got his wheel back, so he's ready to rock. And I thought we'll give him a little bit of time. He seems to be quick as well tonight. I think we're going to get some good times out of Helmet. But let's not write off some of the big contenders we've had this week so far, or the last 3 weeks we've had. Obviously, Milan, we've had C-Hacks, we've had Force, we've had Rodders and Rigel. Some of the big names there are stepping up. Big shout out as well to Flack, obviously, who had a good race last week. I think we're going to have some real interesting ones this week as well. So we'll have to wait and see. Just see how it goes, see how it pans out. We've got 11 minutes, 40 seconds of qualifying left. And we'll go down the order in a minute and start seeing who we've got attending tonight. And shout out to Cos, who's obviously watching on YouTube, and the other people watching on YouTube tonight. So with 11 and a half minutes of qualifying, we have got on track tonight. So far, 25 runners. Hopefully the timings will be better for you guys and girls watching the stream tonight. So we've got RWB C-Hacks racing with us tonight. He's currently posted a fastest time of 1:38.1, but I'm sure those times will be coming down. He's sporting the black Audi livery. This Audi last week was pretty dominant. It was pretty dominant, and we saw a lot of C-Hacks. I think he's going to give us a show tonight, and he's on his A game tonight. We've got in second at the moment RWB Helmet. As I said again, it's great to see this guy back. It's great to see him back on track, and he's one to watch because he was doing some of the fastest paces in practice earlier on. So currently in second place with 1:38.2. We've got Visor. This guy, he's fast, he's consistent. He just needs to keep on the grey stuff tonight and he'll be fine. We've got RWB Force currently in fourth place. We've got RWB Scott-Free in fifth place. Scott's been enjoying racing with the club over the last few weeks. He had a great race last week, and I'm sure he's getting ready to dominate tonight as well. RWB Dave Crew. We've got Milan. Milan is one to watch tonight because he's quick, but he's carrying a lot of ballast. We're going to go into the ballast and discuss what some of them are carrying tonight and how that ballast works. We've got RWB Ferguson joining us. He's been pretty good and pretty consistent as well. RWB Rick Binnisley currently in ninth place with a 1:39.6. We've got Ben Davis, our resident orange, he's getting quicker, isn't he? He was on a controller, he went to a wheel, and I keep bigging this guy up because he's getting quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker, and he's going to be one to watch eventually, I think. He's definitely going to be one to watch. We've got Allwyn. We've got RWB FX currently in the pits. RWB Beer in the pits. Beer actually said he likes listening to me commentate because I take the piss out of everybody. I'm not too sure about that, Beer. I mean, I know I say that you need to be more consistent, but I don't really take the piss out of anyone. That's, you know. Menacing Skull's joining us. He's in the BWT pink livery for the Mercedes DTM. We've got RWB Napone also in the BWT pink livery. We've got RWB Taz. We've got an onboard of RWB Taz there. He's currently in the Audi DTM. We've got Mr. Gabsy. Gabsy wasn't too special on last week's track, but the week before that, he was on it. Robert De Vries. He is in, is that a Mercedes livery? That is a Mercedes livery. 22nd, RWB Pazza, Fabio Ribeiro, Mark Bean, John D. I keep clicking on the actual dashboard there. John D is in 25th. He says he's got a bit of man flu. So he's got a little bit of a girly thing going on with his voice there. Apparently he can't talk, but yeah. And last but not least, look, there he is. They've managed to get him out of his wheelchair into his car. They've managed to empty his colostomy bag. Oh no, he's back in the pits. Obviously he needs his smoke, or I don't know, maybe his car's electric for once and they need to get him back out. I don't know. But there's Charger, last but not least. 26 runners tonight, or 25 runners. Let's hope it gets back up to 26 with 7.5 minutes to go. But let's go back on to our top 5. So Helmet, we've currently got 137.4. And when Helmet gets to the start-finish straight, we'll take you through a lap, hopefully, with Helmet. I'll tell you a little bit about the dynamics of the track and how it's gonna basically make them struggle a little bit, because I have been doing a lot of practice on this track this week and I was planning on racing, but unfortunately these things happen. And one thing with RWB is we're always happy to step up and help each other out and get through it. So let's just check YouTube chat. Well done, DeBuG, my friend. Vomit, lol, really? Very sorry. Cheers, Tiger. Thank you very much. More than happy to do it. So more than happy to step up, mate. Right, let's follow Helmet as he's coming into the last corner and he's coming down that long straight now. So we're on board with Helmet. This is a 500 or 400 odd meter straight. It's absolutely massive. Now, what these guys need to do, I don't know if he's going to go in for a... No, he's pitted. What a bugger. Let's see C-Hacks, because C-Hacks is pretty on it. And I think C-Hacks is just coming up to the last straight as well, possibly. Right, here we go. So Tiger's just... C-Hacks is just coming into the last straight now, the long straight. He needs to be stuck tightly to this wall, and then at about 130 meters you see the 200 meter mark, 150 meter mark. Now he needs to brake and get left, needs to get tight in. Maybe he's already in. I would have dropped it down into third like he has done there, but then you've got a sharp right which then goes into a sharp left, and if your car's not balanced properly you will get a little bit of a kick out. Now this is another long straight and he needs to get the braking just perfect here. It's crucial to get a good lap time. So again, watch those boards on the top right, 200, 150, he should be braking, that's perfect. Oh, and the back end just got wide on him. And that's it, if a car's not that well balanced, that back end will come out. This is a long left, it's a parabolica basically. Tiger will be proud of me for saying that. That's a long parabolica, really quick. He comes into another long right-hand turn here, which you can brake after the 50 marker, drop it down into third. There we go. Well done, Hacks. And then punch it, be as brave as you can and as quick as you can on the acceleration. Then you've got a tight left coming up. Then it's really crucial again, the way they've got these cars set up, the traction will be killing the car at this point because you've got to get back on the acceleration. Slight right here and then a heavy brake in onto this point, right and then left. Again, the balance of a car's crucial. These guys will be running low downforce, so it's going to really give them a push here. And then this is the last straight, 450, 500 meters down here. Last straight, this is when all the downforce being reduced will really help them out. DRS as well if they've got it. Bam, there we go. And that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, was not good enough for P1, but it was a good lap anyway. It was nice that we could see that. So yeah, this man here, Visor, he's going to be a good contender tonight. And I was just looking at the ballast on these guys. So Visor's only got 30 kg as well as helmet. Force has got 76. Hax has got 66. But Milan's got 128 kilos of ballast. So he's going to be heavy tonight. Now, how the ballast works, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is it actually works on cars this time. So the cars that do the best are the ones that will be the heaviest. So ballast is applied to all the manufacturers. So say, for instance, if Audis do absolutely awful and for 2 weeks running they're terrible, this week the Audi cars, none of them will have a lot of ballast. Say the Mercedes cars have been dominant in both first and second races, the Mercedes cars will have a lot more ballast added on. Then what we do is we add the ballast individually to each player on their average lap time. So Milan's obviously been getting some real high average lap times, so his ballast is the highest. It can be played into it, the drivers can play into this a little bit, but I doubt they have been. We're just going to go on board as well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, because as I'm sure you can appreciate, being the only commentator tonight and being obviously RWB's saviour, I'm just going to have a quick sip of water, and we're going to go on board with one of the other potentials, Rigel. Rigel's currently in 11th position. He's done a fastest first sector. He's coming up to his second sector's time, and he's currently got a 1 minute 40.3 in place. So I'm just going to keep you on board with him right now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and enjoy this lap time. Turn up your volume maybe and have a good listen to these cars, crackles and pops. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. That was a quick lap with Rigel. I hope you turned your volumes up. Big shout out to Groink. Hello, welcome. Balance of performance is a nice concept. It is really, isn't it? We'd all like a good balance of performance. Groink, and just imagine you'd also have some performance of balance. So that lap which Rigel did put him on a 1 minute 38.475. It got him 6th fastest. Good lap time there for Rigel. So, let's have a quick look. We've got 1 minute 16 seconds to go. You've got Helmet in P1. Surprise, surprise. Big shock, Force, P2. Even though Force is quite quick, he's not been qualifying that hard. So 1 minute 38.1. Well done there, Force. C-Hax, the man who is going to make a stand tonight. I'm sure of it. 1 minute 38.2. RWB scot-free. Well done, buddy. 1 minute 39.1. And then Visor in 5th at the moment. Invalid last lap time, but if we actually look on his driver profile, he's done a 138.4, 138.3, 138.5, 138.3. So consistency is what this bloke's got, and we've seen this. We've seen he's consistent. We've seen he can do it. And this man, Rigel, got a lot of time going for him. I think he's gonna be consistent tonight. Now, the real interesting thing here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listen to this, right? I think it was Bean and a few others actually said that tonight they're going to have to pit twice because the tyres are apparently overheating and they're wearing really quickly. So we might see 2 stops tonight. They don't need to stop for fuel, but we might actually see some 2 stoppers tonight, which is mental. That's going to be crazy. So you got a 15-minute quali, Groink. Then you've got 4-minute race warm-up, I believe. Is it 4 minutes? It's 5-minute race warm-up. And then they're all lights out and away they go. We've got 26 drivers tonight. 26 drivers. It's going to be absolutely insane. And yeah, no doubt Helmet's done his practice. He's got his wheel. His wheel's been repaired. He's not got any grinding on it anymore. He's good to go. He's ready to annihilate. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to take you round a little bit through the drivers once more tonight. We're going to see a few of them. They're just practicing right now. Some people in the 5-minute warm-up, they'll go and get a drink. They'll go and have a quick relax. They'll go and settle down, say bye-bye to their missus or kids for the night. Some of them will still be practicing. I mean, look at this. Rigel, he's still going around that track. He's clearly not happy with how it's been feeling, so he'll keep practicing. Others will be practicing start-stops. So he's just practicing the start-stop. Actually, before, it was actually Helmet we were looking at, who's straight out again. One person we haven't spoken about a lot, Al Gartner. He's been practicing a lot for this as well. Look at that. He's definitely going to be on it tonight. I reckon he'll be definitely one to watch. One person, Charger, he's not out there practicing still. I mean, sometimes you see these guys do starting warm-ups as well. Most of these guys are out and about now. Most of these guys are practicing. It's nice to see, because I think it's such a crucial track, and I think it's going to be the start of this race. The first corner is what's going to really trip these guys out. So just a quick reminder, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. First place, we've got Helmet. Second place, we have Force. Third place, oh no, it's going crazy already. Race director's going a bit crazy. It's never good. Oh, it's because they're putting lap times in, that's why. Apologies, ladies and gents, boys and girls. We've got 2 minutes 20 seconds of warm-up left. We're just going through the cars, seeing if we can see anyone doing some start-ups as well, which would be quite nice. You would be pleased to know as well, ladies and gents, that the timings are sort of sorted this week. They're not totally sorted, but the lap times are, if they're within a second and a half between each other, they'll be registering properly, which is nice. These two are having a bit of a race in warm-up. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have 15 seconds to go until the event starts and kicks off. That's 10 seconds until all 26 drivers tonight line up. They've got a hell of a race ahead of them. There's going to be balance issues. There's going to be overtaking issues. There's going to be all sorts of fun and games at the beginning of this race. It's going to be one to watch at the front. It's going to be one to watch in the mid-pack. It's going to be one to watch as much as we can. I apologise tonight, ladies and gents, boys and girls, if we can't get everything on the race, and we can't get all the action recorded straight away. It's extremely hard and difficult, especially when you're on your own, to get all these 26 drivers and record their fantastic racing. So they're literally getting everything ready. They're getting their setup sorted, their fuel load sorted. They're getting their pit stop sorted for the event. They're getting everything ready to roll on this car. And there's 20 seconds left until the lights go out, unless all of those drivers line up before the 20 seconds. 10 seconds to go, people. Okay, the lights are showing. We're going to go on to helmet. The lights are ready to go, and they are ready. Away they go. Didn't look like a great start from Helmet. He already looks under pressure. C-Hax is already straight behind him. He's coming up alongside him as well. C-Hax is going to try and go on the outside, but he hasn't got it. So that is still Helmet in first place. Hax has taken second place. Scot-free in third place. He's got Force coming on the outside. Force has managed to overtake him to get third place. Meanwhile, first and second still with Helmet and C-Hax. Rest of the pack looks like they've gone through that pretty well. Looking down the order, it looks like there's been a couple of nudges. Marco and Pazza, Gabsy, Ribeiro. Let's just quickly go on to Helmet again. He is pretty much racing clear of the pack right now. He's managed to get away. Hax in second place. He's got Force to contend with right now. Force is now on the back of that Audi. He's driving a BMW DTM. He's got Scot-free behind him, and Rigel's moved up one position into fifth place, leaving Visor down into sixth place. It has been a very, very clean start. I didn't expect that on the first corner. I'm going to be absolutely honest. These guys race hard and they race clean, and that's pure proof of it. We're just riding on board of RWB Force right now. He's currently half a second behind C-Hax, and he's not giving C-Hax any room. Meanwhile, Helmet is absolutely launching himself ahead of everybody. He's pretty much, this is what practice has done to him. This is what commitment's done to him. This is what not having that will. He's wanted that. He's been greedy and hungry for it. Oh, C-Hax has gone wide, which has left a door open for Force by the looks of things. So you're going to have Force and C-Hax alongside each other. Has Force got the inside line? I think Force has got the inside line, but he's falling back and letting Hax have it. That was pretty respectful, because that could have been nasty. And that just shows what kind of driver he is. 58 minutes to go. He's thinking to himself, it's not worth the risk right now. So let's move down a little bit. We've got Scot-free currently in fourth place. He's holding his own, racing Force. Visar has managed to get ahead of Rigel again. So Rigel's obviously had an off. Let's see if we can ride on board with Rigel right now, which has got his DRS open. Let's go into cockpit. So he's looking for Visar. He's obviously had a bit of an off maybe, or Visar's got on a late break on the inside to him. That looks like we've got Scot-free or Force has gone wide, which Visar has taken advantage of, and he's now trying to get past Force, and I think he's gotten past Force. We're watching from Rigel's helmet right now. That is not good for RWB Force, who was in second place. Lovely overtaking there then from Visar. Let's see if Force can do anything to get his place back there. But right now, if I'm honest with you, Visor's now giving Scot-free a little bit of action. And has he got past him? He has got past him. Scot-free's had an off, and now Visor is back into third place. So he is now. What's going to happen? Is he now going to be catching C-Hax? It's almost as if these cars are struggling with their tyres and struggling with their loads. 1 minute they're off, 1 minute they're not. Let's follow this one closely, because you've now got C-Hax in second, Helmet first, and Visor. They've all got quite a little bit of a run between them. You've got John D and Skull. There looks like there's some hard racing between these guys here. Let's look at the back right now. John D with DRS. Going down the main straight and into the first left-hand corner. Looking pretty clean right now. There doesn't seem to be any dramatic crashes or people gone off right now. Let's look at the back of the pack. RWB Pazza currently racing in the 1 minute 49s as opposed to 1 minute 38 up top. So currently 11 seconds off pace. Doesn't really matter though, because at the end of the day, these guys are new, they are getting better, and they are obviously racing against some of the fastest drivers we've got out there. Fabio Ribeiro, he's having a bit of a race with Napone right now. Both very, very aggressive, very, 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 very wide there. And he's obviously hunting down Napone, which seems to be hunting down Robert De Vries. He's having a good one. He's just on the... He's going to try and get on the inside of Robert right now, and he's got the inside covered. He just needs to make it stick, and he's made that stick by the looks of things, so Robert will have to stay behind him. He's got Taz in front of him to then race against. Ben Davis is down in 20th, which is a lot lower. So Ben Davis must have had an off at the beginning of the race. He's currently got Marco and Charger in front of him, and by the looks of it, he's right on Marco's tail, and he's obviously just waiting it out to see when he can get Marco and Charger next. But at the moment, I would say he had an invalid last lap, so he's obviously had an off. If we look at his driver profile, he was lapping 142, 157. So let's see what he does here. 140 as opposed to Charger and Marco's 141. So he's lapping a second faster than Marco and Charger. So I would imagine he will get past those two. Those two are racing quite hard at the moment, Marco and Charger. We'll go over to Allwyn. Bit of a funny camera angle this one, because we can't actually see him. So Allwyn's currently in 16th for DRS. He's chasing Al Gartner, which seems to be racing quite a clean race at the moment. Our dear old RWB Al Gartner. In front of him, we've got Rick Binnesley currently 14th place. A bit lower than he usually is, Rick Binnesley, but 53 minutes to go. Anything can happen. Gabsey's obviously made some places up. 13th currently right now. He's lapping in the 1 minute 40s, as well as Mr. Bean. Mark Bean is on the back of this lovely train. We do love a good train. So we've got Mark Bean, Beer, FX, Dave, and Milan by the looks of things on this train. All of them, to be honest, all racing against each other. We've got Beer and FX having a little bit of a tussle with each other right now. We'll go on to Beer. He's just taken FX on the inside, and FX, if he's not lucky, is going to lose out to Mark Bean as well. Currently got Beer. Has Beer managed to get the DRS or not? FX may have the DRS though, and if he has got the DRS, he'll be taking Bean again. Let's have a look. He's right on his tail, but no, he's not got the legs on that Audi, and he might not have had the DRS. And just notice, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how those cars just twitched a little bit as they were coming into that first left corner. And that is the old balance of the cars again. They're just a little bit twitchy, and that'll be because they're not running a lot of downforce as well. Medster, I'd imagine the reason it's 26 spots, not 32. Obviously, Rodders hasn't been able to race with us tonight. Speed Demons hasn't been able to race with us. CSAM hasn't been able to race with us. They are actually doing a 12-hour Bathurst race tonight, I believe it is as well. Or they've been doing a 12-hour, so we've only got 26 entries. FX has just had a little off. FX has had a lot off, and that's cost him a lot. That could be commentator's curse because we're watching him. I'm sorry, FX, if it is. That's not going to be great for him because that takes him down into 15th, 16th. FX, he's down into 17th. Anyway, let's follow on with Helmet for the time being. Helmet, who is currently, if the timings are correct, 5.4 seconds ahead of C-Hacks. C-Hacks is struggling at the moment. He's got Visa behind him, giving him a run for his money. So let's keep an eye on this because, let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Helmet is gone. Helmet has gone. He is out for the count. Visa is on the back of C-Hacks and will have DRS. So these guys now, C-Hacks is racing for that second place. He does not want this. He was out there in front and had no pressure at the back. Now he's got someone behind him giving him pressure. Going back to Medster in the YouTube chat, there are many people which would like to race, but unfortunately we do have substitutes and we do have the ability for substitutes, but sometimes it doesn't always work like that. And we've just got Visor. He's gone in for the kill, he's gone in for the place, and he's made it stick, but C-Hacks might come back at him on these next few turns. Let's have a look at this. It can Seahax try and get it back, or is Visa just too quick? Oh, Seahax has gone wide there, so he's going to have to get himself back on track, and I think he will have to allow Visa that place. Visor's last lap was an invalid lap. He's currently been lapping, as you can see here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, 1 minute 39.3, 1 minute 38.2, 38.3, 38.8, 47.5. So he's currently lapping quite consistent, but is it as consistent as RWB Helmet, who's just done 138 straight? 138s all the time. Since his first lap, he's been doing 138. So this is definitely the man to watch. Unfortunately, we would watch him a lot more, but to be honest, there's not much going on between him. And the timing screen seems to be working quite well at the moment. So Helmet's in first, Visor's second, and Hax is third. Rigel, if that is right, I don't know if it is right or not. We'll soon find out. Rigel's sporting a much larger gap, and Ferguson has just taken the inside of Rigel, which Rigel will not like, and has gone with the inside and made it stick. So let's just watch these two right now. Our chief trackmaster, that is Rigel, was having a pretty solid race, and now he's still having a solid race, but he's had the wind knocked out of him by our Ferguson. Obviously, Ferguson must have done some practicing, but look how much better Rigel is on those brakes. He's so much better on the brakes. And this parabolica they're coming into now. Let's have a look at this, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, because he is on it. He's got DRS as well. Depending on how late he can brake here, he might have another shot at it. He's got another straight coming up, and then a left-hand turn. Let's see what he does. Not to mention they've got force on the back of Rigel as well. So if Rigel wants to get this done, he's going to have to do it and get his fourth position back. But great racing here from the three of these guys, especially for fourth position. Oh, was that? I think Ferguson may have lost the back end a little bit. So Rigel will get hungry. Rigel's gone a little bit wider, and that almost invited force, but look at this. I think it looks like Ferguson's got DRS because he overtook Rigel. So Rigel's going to be struggling here. Does Force have DRS? That's the question. I think we're going to go another lap with these guys. Let's follow on board with these guys as well. I mean, just for the people watching the stream tonight, Helmet, Visor, Hax, Ferguson, Rigel, Force, Milan, Beer. These guys are all pretty confident racers. You've got Rigel. Is he going to be going on the outside? Is he going to try and... He's now got DRS where he didn't have DRS last lap. So, you know, the quality these racers will give us and the commitment into these corners and the space they leave each other as well is absolutely crazy. It looks like Rigel's he's side by side right now with Ferguson, but I don't know if he can make the outside overtake stick. If he brakes a bit later, he's going to try it. But Ferguson had the inside line there, and Ferguson's managed to come out again. But Rigel's got his DRS on this time, and he's got more traction than Fergie. He might pull this off. Let's see. He's pulled it off. He's done it. What a great overtake there by Rigel. Absolutely stunning overtake there. He had the better drive out of that corner. He had DRS. He had the confidence. Fergie's coming back. Be careful, Fergie. Oh, it's such dedicated racing by these three. This is fantastic. All along, Force is watching these two, hungry for the kill. Force wants it. He's like, come on, you two. Rigel's got DRS again. He's gone in the inside line. He's allowed to move back to his braking point, which he's doing right now. Obviously, if he swerved left and right, he wouldn't be allowed to do that. But he was allowed to move into the left to try and get out of that and then move back to the right for his braking position. Rigel, if you want to know, the lads in the YouTube chat are absolutely loving this racing. That's to you as well, Ferguson. Absolutely clean. Ferguson's got Force on him now, though. Force is looking down and Force is thinking, well, you two didn't take each other out, so you know what? I'm just going to have to use DRS to overtake you now. So we'll follow on with Ferguson. It looks to me, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, like Charger has retired from the race. It just said that he was disqualified for speeding in the pit lane, which isn't good. That is not good at all. We'll bring Charger in, actually, because Charger said that he was happy. He was happy to commentate and have a little chat. So we'll bring Charger in a minute. Meanwhile, this race between Force. Hold on a second, Ferguson has just gone for the. Oh, he tried to. He must have braked really late, which has obviously put him in that position. So he's now lost out to this massive train that was racing. Let's have a look on this train with Dave Crew right now. So what we saw there was, I think we saw Ferguson brake really late for that corner. It caught him out. That's given Rigel a bit of breathing space against Force. Meanwhile, these guys here, we've got Milan, Beer, Bean and Crew. Just remember, Milan has got 130 plus kilos. Is it 130 plus kilos? It's something ridiculous. He's got 128 kilos of ballast. That's not like 30 or 40 compared to some of these guys. That's 130. So Milan, the guy who's leading this little pack here, he's like 100 kilos heavier. 100 kilos heavier, which is absolutely ridiculous. And look at him hunting him down. And this is the kind of drivers which we've got in the club. With all that ballast and all that weight to his car, he's still managing to keep these three hungry tigers. Look, it's like a pack of raptors from Jurassic Park just trying to home in on his car. They're all having a great race. It looks like Bean's having a bit of pop at Beer. And Dave Crew, once again, a bit like Force was, is just sitting back, waiting to see this happen. And just turn your speakers up again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and listen to that noise of that car. The popping and spluttering it does. Absolutely amazing. Milan is racing his heart out right now. He's got Beer coming up to the... Oh, he's got Beer. You can see where he's struggling. He's struggling on the corners and he's struggling out of the corners. You can see this. Beer is hunting him down. This is great racing. Great racing. Groink, just to answer your question, can you decide where the ballast is placed in the car, or is it a fixed position? It's totally fixed position. It is 100% fixed position. So I think, do you know what? This is going to be this ballast taken over. Beer is taking a go at Milan, and he's got Milan, but Milan's quickly poked behind him, covering his position. Beer has now taken 6th place, and it's quite a little bit of a distance away from Force and Rigel, but that's crucial for this competition and this league, that he's taken 6th place. So well done, Beer. And oh, Milan getting all sorts of out of shape there. That could be putting Bean in contention. Bean is on the left-hand side. He could outbrake. You could see the ballast taking shape here again. He's managed to brake earlier, but I think they're side by side right now. Mark Bean's got the overtake on Milan as well. So this is ballast, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, playing a part of this person. And this is where it makes the race a lot more interesting, because this person, a few races ago, or last race, he was ahead of everybody. He was on fire. So now he's not mid-pack, but now he's racing against people which would never be able to catch him. So this is the whole point of this ballast added to this league. It's amazing to see him struggle. He's really going for it. He's using every bit of his talent he can to get past these guys, which he is. He's trying to get Bean on the outside. Look at this racing. That's absolutely incredible. His car just stepped out a little bit, and that's opened him up to Dave Crew now. Dave Crew could be going on the outside. I'm sorry, my voice is going. This is so exciting to watch. Dave Crew has now got Milan. This is not working well for him at all. And hold on a second. Gabsy and Ferguson is now attacking Milan as well. Dave Crew and Gabsy, both teammates, they could try and do a bit of teammate action here and keep Milan back. Where now we look at Ferguson, which was up there after he had an unfortunate spin or had an unfortunate late break. He now wants some of Milan. So this is absolutely tragic for this guy. the ballast is playing such a massive impact on his race. You can see that. Meanwhile, let's go back up to Helmet. Now, this guy, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this guy, I'm not kissing his ass or anything, but it's like a Lewis Hamilton stunt double. Where is that person behind him? And this is where commentator's curse kicks in right about now. No, he is pretty much on that. Let's listen to the front of a car. Let's listen to his gear changing, the brakes. It just sounds so good. It sounds like he's got that car so well dialed in. And that's why I'm really sad I'm not racing tonight, because I had his setup. Let's quickly go on to Visar, which, wow, Visar's just come into the last corner now, and he's still got C-Hacks chasing him. And Rigel is now being chased by Force. So these guys are racing hard. Let's have a look back at Allwyn, whose last lap was 1 minute 49. So again, his last lap was 11 seconds slower than Helmet's last lap. So I would imagine we will start seeing overtakes very soon, or undertakes, sorry, very soon. He has pitted, however, so he has been into the pits. Charger, thank God someone's come in, because I can't keep talking this much on my own. I'm losing my voice, Bill.
That's surprising.
Seriously, what happened, by the way?
I had a USB device unplugged somewhere.
No.
I don't even know. Yeah, and I had no pit limiter. I couldn't stop the car. He went straight in the pits, disqualified me, and I spun just before that as well. So I had a drive, and I had a drive through. God damn, because because I've done a rebuild, haven't I? So it's not all 100%. So it's just
gotcha. It's the way it works, isn't it? It's the way it happens sometimes.
It's a bit like car failures, isn't it? So
yeah, exactly. We're just watching Napone there. It looks like he had a bit of a spin-off. He was having a bit of a race with his teammate Menacing Skull, and had to spin off, which is it's putting him down back into 23rd position. But we're just talking right now, Charger. Helmet has absolutely flown off. He's like a rocket. He's just taken off and left the pack for dead. Like literally, it's like similar to what we saw as Speed Demon on the first week of this league. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's absolutely insane how much of a gap he's got right now. Absolutely insane. We're looking back at Visar and C-Hacks. C-Hacks is still battling Visar, but Visar seems to have C-Hacks pretty well under control right now. He seems to have him kind of at bay and controlling the race from there. We saw Rigel and Force as well for 4th and 5th. Rigel again, I think Force was challenging him a little bit. If we look on to Force's pit, Force's window, his cockpit, he doesn't, again, it seems to be like Rigel's got that pretty much under control. Gabsy in 6th position. Gabsy's absolutely climbed, considering that he didn't qualify that high up. He's just been climbing up the order and has now got himself in the 6th position. Mark Bean with Fergie and Dave Crew behind him for 7th. And Charger, just want to talk to you right now, actually, because you've currently got 39 kilos of ballast. We're watching Milan. This poor guy, he's got 129 kilos. And we're seeing that really affect his race. I mean, how much does that 39 kilos affect your race? Do you feel it that much, or?
Well, I don't say I got double teamed by two, one on the right, one on the left. It was like I had to check my brake to see if I've got brakes on. It wasn't. I mean, I haven't because like I said, because I've done a rebuild. I haven't been able to put that much practice in, but I was probably 4 seconds off Helmet anyway.
Well, we were just looking, and the back marker, he's 11 seconds slower than Helmet on each lap right now. Helmet's lapping consistently in the 1 minute 38.5s, and most of the others are lapping 1 minute 40s, 1 minute 41s.
I put a 140 now, so I wasn't that far.
No, you were lapping consistently, to be honest. It's a shame that, as you said, it's just one of those. It's one of those things. It's always pot luck whenever you step into a race like this. Anything can happen, can't it? You could have anything screw your race up for you, software wise or hardware wise.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried to get it there for the race, but I haven't missed the race, so it's no biggie. You can drop one.
No, that's it. We're just looking up the pack or down the pack a little bit more. Everyone else seems to be having a pretty standard race right now. It's nice to see that Ben Davis is climbing up the order again. We've now currently got him in 13th position, and he's currently challenging Rick Binnersley. Again, he's going on the outside by the looks of things with DRS, and he's managed to close that challenge down, although Binnersley does have the inside line on that Parabolica. And no, Binnersley's not going to fight it. That's Orange now up to 12th position. And Scott Free's obviously behind Rick Binnersley as well. Rick is coming back at Orange, but again, a late break, same as what we saw with Ferguson. So Charger knows Fergie earlier on was challenging for, I think he was for 4th place, 4th, 5th and 6th. And there was some real, I mean, how did you find the track, Bill? Because what I was saying in the stream was the cars seemed to be very twitchy at times. So was there a bit of a balance, a fine balance in this track, Bill? Or?
Yeah, I mean, the couple of corners where you've got to, I think before the last straight, and there's another one, pretty much sort of not hairpins, but you just can't put the power down at all, which is where I spun.
Yeah,
and I don't even think downforce is going to help you. Diff maybe. I was just struggling a little bit with it on those couple of corners, but I hadn't got a decent tune on it. The only thing I've done on it was change the gearing.
Yeah, and so obviously I was doing quite a bit of practice for this race before I stepped out tonight. But what I found was, as you said, diff. It's trying to get that power on out of those corners, which is crucial. And I think I was running something like 11 rear wing on these cars. Was it 11? I think it might have been 11.
Did you increase the wing or drop it then? I don't know what the standard was.
I decreased it, yeah.
Right. I know me and you did a few laps to one night. We were around the 140.
That would have been nice. It would have been nice. I'm gutted, but at the end of the day, you need this commentating, and it's what makes these races. I mean, without someone doing auto director tonight and commentating, you wouldn't be getting these great races which we're watching right now. Set in stone, to be honest. So no, it's the racing tonight's been absolutely fantastic. And I mean, what's your predictions for the finish tonight if you've been seeing it?
I think what's his name? Granola? Well, I can't see it from my eyesight. He was in second.
Visar, Jacoli.
Oh, Visar. Yeah, Visar. He's very quick, and also Kiloga, is it? Where is he still?
Are you talking about? I'm trying to think who you're talking about now. Oh, Milan. Rajokov?
No. He was. I can't see his name on there actually. He was quick. He's a quick racer, but I think well, you gotta say Helmet or Hacks. I mean, or even Roger.
Currently, Visar is he's lapping in the 139s on average, and Helmet's the second quicker than him. I mean, it's almost as if taking a break has done Helmet the world of good. In getting his it's almost as if he's needed that winter break, which the Formula One drivers have, and he's gotten his wheel back, and he just seems on fire this race. Absolutely on fire.
Yeah, it must be the American influence. I mean, I know he sold up, moved to America for a bit, came back, and he seems completely refreshed. He's rebought all of his kit again, hasn't he? Well, better kit than he had with his Fanatec direct drive and stuff, and he's just gone, I'm going for it, balls out, and that's what he's done, and it's paying off.
Yeah, interestingly enough, what were your tyres like? Because a lot of people said they were heating up quite badly.
They seemed okay, to be honest, but I wasn't pushing. So
Gotcha,
I think
gotcha.
the more you push that first corner, going into that first corner, and there's another corner similar that you're pretty much on full. You start to understeer. The tyres start to get a bit warm there.
I've got to stop you quickly, Bill, because we've just had Milan Rajovic. He's just retired from a race, which is a real shame to see. I don't know why he retired or what happened, but it doesn't look like it looks like he might have taken his pit, but I mean the actual ballast we saw in that car tonight, it was killing him. He went from 5th or 6th down to 11th, and you could see where he was struggling. So that is a retirement from Milan, and it looks like a retirement from RWB Nippon as well, which is a shame.
Yeah, what happened to Skull? Is he still in?
Skull is still in. Menacing Skull is currently in 19th position.
Because he was behind me and he disappeared. I don't know where he went.
Okay, unless it was connection, I guess.
Could have been.
But he's currently in 19th position. He's just been in for the pits by the looks of things. The ones who haven't pitted yet, which is surprising now because we're 29 minutes into the race, we've still got Helmet, Visar, Force, Gabsy and Ferguson who haven't pitted in the top 5. Rigel has pitted, Seahax has pitted, Ben Davis, Rick Binnesley and Al Gartner hasn't, although I think one of them's just gone in. But I mean, when is Helmet going to pit? He's just managing the tyres on that car and that car tonight so well. I mean, he's lapping cars now. He's lapping cars who have pitted. So yeah, he's obviously seems very confident. He's doing really, really well. Rigel has got Seahax on him right now, and it looks like they've both pitted. But Seahax is right on Rigel's chuffer for 6th position right now. So we're just going to stay on board these with Seahax going on the inside. And he's got the inside line as well. There's been a slight tap from Hax. I'm not sure if Rigel's going to like that one, but slight tap there. I mean, it looked like it was fair racing. It looked like Hax just went in there and lost the car a little bit on that long right-hand turn, but it looks like Rigel's now taking it back a little bit and letting Hax get that position. RWB Marco. It looks like Marco's been disqualified, ignoring a drive-through penalty. So that's Marco who's now out of the race as well. I mean,
dropping like flies.
Yeah. Oh, looks like Rigel's just going into the pits himself. So maybe Rigel hadn't pitted. That's interesting. Or did Rigel have a drive-through? Let's follow Rigel right now and see if he's got a drive-through or whether he's actually pitting. How easy is it to get these disqualifications when it comes to the pit spill? Is it something common, or is it a case of these guys aren't practicing?
If you go over a certain speed limit, actually crossing the pit line, you'll get an auto disqualify. That's what happened to me. I don't know what the actual speed limit.
Right.
No, I know it's 60 kilometres an hour in the speed, but I don't know how far above that you have to go to get an instant disqualification. Obviously, it's a safety issue, isn't it? You wouldn't do it in motorsport.
I'm just seeing this now. It looks like Rigel did have a drive-through, and it looks like it's not going well for Rigel because it looks like he's sped in the pit lane in his drive-through, and the stewards have given him another drive-through penalty. I can't for sure say if that's right or not, but when Rigel came out of the pits from his drive-through, it then said again on the right-hand screen, Rigel drive-through penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He's not going to like that if that is true. Because Rigel's now in 10th position. Hack's back into 2nd place now, behind Helmet. and Visar. Well, Hax was in third. Visar looks like he's now 1.8 seconds away from Hax. So we're just following on board with Rigel now to see what he does. He's coming round the last few corners. Is he going to go back into the pits, or is he going to stay out? Let's have a look, ladies and gents. No, he's going back in the pits. Oh, God, Charger. I mean, that's got to be infuriating, hasn't it? Like,
yeah. I'm just reading a message there from Milan.
Yes.
The ballast was so heavy on this track, but nice driving, a lot of respect. I think he was just struggling with his 130 kilo.
Yeah, absolutely. So, for God's sake, Rigel, 15th position now, 16th position. Rigel, do not speed in that pit lane. God. Oh no. So for those of you who have just started watching, Rigel 16th position. Rigel was fighting in the top positions. He had a drive-through penalty, and then he was speeding in the pit lane and got another drive-through penalty. So he served 2 drive-through penalties. He's now in 16th. I mean, we've got 24 minutes. He can still get into that top 10. There's no doubt about that. He can still get it. He just needs to clear his mind, focus on the job, and get on with it. Shout out to Jamie, Mr. Rodders himself. He's on the way back watching on the train. Welcome. Hello. Hola. But yeah, it's really interesting to hear that Milan had, like, the 130k ballast was too much for him for this track. And if we watch the stream back later on, Charger, you will see Milan was so... It was crazy to see someone so quick struggling to keep people from behind him. It's great to see as well, because obviously it mixes the order up, and it creates that, gives that person something harder to work for. So yeah, I mean, what's your take on the ballast? I think it's a great little system, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, the way it's worked out, I don't know if people know that, it's worked out on your average laps times. So in theory, the differential between the slowest and the fastest person, that the ballast is added into that. And in an ideal situation, everyone would be getting the same lap. But then you add in the manufactured ballast. So if you've got, a first, second, third Audi, Mercedes, BMW, then they get ballast based on that position, but that carries through to all the manufacturers' cars as well. So you could be in 15th place and get ballast based on someone that won, which it's an interesting way of doing it. It does seem to level the field there, I'll be honest.
Oh, 100%.
When you've got 2 seconds, I mean, what's the difference between now, I don't know, say first and 15th?
Oh, I'm just seeing this now. I'm sorry. Visar has just been disqualified for ignoring a drive-through penalty. Oh.
Yeah, it seems tough on this track. The line's not very visible until you've actually, it popped.
I mean, that Visar was a contender for P1, and that kind of mistake to make. I mean, it's there in front of you. It tells you, unless there was something wrong with his HUD and it wasn't telling him properly. But that is that's got to be devastating for him, because he raced a pretty solid race and had some great battles with this man here, Seahax, who's currently in second place. Just going down the order very quickly. So Force is in third place. Force seems to have a pretty nice gap now from Dave Crew, who's 10 seconds behind him in fourth place right now. Ferguson in fifth, 4 seconds behind Dave Crew. But hey, check this out, everyone. We were saying that Gabsy was really consistent. He's now fighting Ferguson for 5th position. So Fergie's obviously struggling. He's now half a second behind Fergie. And at this rate, he's got DRS open. If he can use some of that rally skill he's got, is he gonna go? No, he's not gonna go on the inside and try and late brake. He's gonna stick it right now. Oh, he might try and go on the outside here. No, he's still going to stay. Let's see what he does on the next few corners. Oh, I mean, this is crucial if he's got DRS and he's kept DRS on this main straight. They get 3 shots at it, and he has kept it. So let's stick with these two right now. Ferguson in P5, Gabsy in P6. Gabsy's got DRS. Is he going to make a quick lunge on the outside? He's going for it. He's going for it. And he's made it stick. So Gabsy is now P5 with Ferguson demoted to P6. And I mean, Gabsy, because he took Ferguson after the start-finish line, I think that's given Gabsy DRS again. It has. So Gabsy's got the DRS advantage now in 5th place, and Ferguson, you can see Fergie already trailing behind him. So that is a real good race for Gabsy. And I think, Charger, you'll agree, Charger, that Gabsy's racing is pretty spot on. Like, he's a fair racer, and he's a quick racer as well.
Yeah, Gabsy's recently set up triple screens, as well, which I think he's quite liking.
I think he is liking now, considering last week he was like, no, didn't like it, didn't get used to it.
It seems to be going down the route of everyone's upgrading, you know, because they don't want to say, oh, this is holding me back. You know, they're getting wheels, rigs, you know, handbrakes, gear shifters, screens, better PCs. It's like, well, I can't blame that then. You know, it's my driving. You do get people say, well, you know, my system's a little bit crap and it's probably holding me back. You don't really have that excuse once you've upgraded and stuff. So
and
I think it's probably helped him. It's consistency.
So look, I've obviously come back to a club after 2 years, which I always mention, and I feel like I'm finally starting to get it back now, and I'm seeing improvement in my racing. But would you say that the more expensive equipment you get, the better you get? Because I mean, you look at people like Gone.
No, I don't think it makes you faster. I just think it'll make you more consistent.
Okay.
I mean, if you're obviously hardware held back and you're running at 30 frames, it's going to impact your driving, you know. But I've noticed people that have upgraded with all their equipment have got more consistent. Maybe they've got faster because they're more consistent, you know. I think speed comes with consistency, doesn't it? So, I mean, you were top of the shop there, DeBuG, on B cars too. You know, I was challenging in the top 5 places. That's no lot.
That's it. Yeah, we're just on board with Mr. John D at the moment. John D's not been feeling very well over the last few days, but he seems to be feeling pretty well right now, because he's lining Beer up for an overtake, just coming into a fast left here, down into the straight, and then a fast right. If he's kept his DRS for the main straight, this seems to be where the lads are playing overtaking games tonight, and it looks like he may have kept one of the DRSs. We'll soon find out. Onto the main straight, and there we go. The DRS has opened up. So here we go. Beer and John D. Beer will know that he's going to make a lunge. John is catching. He's gaining. Can he? Oh, no. Beer just saves himself on that first corner. So to be fair, I'd imagine John D will have to sit back again and just play that waiting game. Sometimes it's best to play the waiting game and just pick out that little bit of a mistake which that driver does. So just watching these two right now, and oh no, John D has just suffered commentator's curse. He's off, and that could be absolutely terminal. Oh, he's back on the track now. Oh, sorry, John. Sorry. John's now in 10th place. Just looking down the field as well, we got a couple of fun races. Right, Charger. I'm trying to remember what position I said Rigel was in after all of his penalties. Was it 15th or 17th or something? I can't remember.
I'm not sure.
No, well, here's the news flash. Rigel's now in 14th. He's got Fabio Ribeiro behind, in front of him. He's a second quicker than this Fabio. So let's watch Rigel at the moment, because I think there's going to be some great racing between a front runner and a mid runner here. Just going through the first parabolica. Do you know what? He seems to have FX challenging him, which Rigel won't like. Rigel will be sitting there going, FX, go away. Just go away. Leave me alone. Let me get this job done on Fabio. So for those who are wondering why Rigel's in 14th, 2 drive-through penalties. One he must have gotten on track, and one which, well, it's just one of these mistakes that happen. He got the drive-through when he was, he got the drive-through when he was taking his drive-through, which is a shame. He's got DRS now. This could be a classic DRS overtake we see. Maybe not this time. No, he's staying behind Fabio. Let's have a bit of an order. Let's go down the order now. 15 minutes to go. So we currently got Helmet in first place, absolutely dominating this race. He's had a clean start. Well, I say a clean start. It wasn't the best of starts, but it kept him in first. He's been clean, concise, and consistent. C-Hax is, if that's right, yeah, that must be right. The timings are right. C-Hax is 26 seconds behind Helmet. It's almost half a minute behind Helmet right now in second place. Force is 8.2 seconds behind C-Hax in third place. Behind them, we've got a slightly larger gap. Dave Crew in fourth. Gabsy behind him in fifth. Ferguson still challenging Gabsy for his position back in sixth place. Beer in seventh place. We've got 8th place Scott Free. 9th place is Ben Davis. Behind Ben Davis and challenging him for the position into 9th is John D. That was John D, which had a spin-off earlier on, which was racing against the guys in front. Rick Binnisley is in 11th, 7 seconds from John. Rigel is now, he's made it up to 12th. So Rigel has gone 2 places up. Shame we didn't see that and stick with him. But he's now in 12th. Mark Bean is 13th. Fabio Ribeiro is 14th. We've got RWB FX UK in 15th. Actually, looking at it, it looks like he's challenging Fabio now, but he's not got DRS, so he won't get him. Al Gardner racing a pretty quality race in 16th. RWB Pazza in 17th at the moment. Menacing Skull in 18th. He's 23 seconds behind Pazza, if that's correct. I wonder if his timings are correct. Let's have a look. Let's just have a look, ladies and gentlemen. His timings are correct. They look pretty accurate, actually. Yep. Taz is in 19th position. Allwyn is fighting Taz at the moment in the very nice BMW DTM Shell logo livery. And Robert De Vries is currently in 21st. So, yeah, a question from Cos. What ballast is Helmet carrying? And as Rod has said, the beauty about Helmet this race is he's obviously missed out on the first 2 races of the league, so he's covering no ballast. However, if he gets commentators' points for the first and second race of the league and gets first place in this race, he's going to be quite high up, isn't he, Charger?
That's a very good point, actually. That is a very, very good point. Yeah, I wonder if he's calculated that.
He's been rubbing his hands, going, I'm going to be lighter than everybody else.
Well, he's not going to be next race.
No, he's not going to be next race. So just a shout out to Scott Free right now. As Rod has said, he's currently sitting in 8th position. So he's racing a pretty good race. And Charger, do you want to talk to us about Scott Free? Because I don't think he's been around for that long, has he?
No, he joined with Medster, I think, who's in the YouTube. They both live in Ireland. Right. And he popped up. He's a good racer. He's got better. I think it's the same old thing. Once you get to know the people that you race with on a regular basis, you know their strengths, weaknesses, and you know whether you can, take risks with them, or you've got to be safe with them, or you can hold them up. You know what I mean. It's just getting to know people's driving styles, and he's getting there. He really is. That's a good result for him. I've got to give a shout out to Taz. Taz is still in. Good result, mate. Taz is he struggles, to get to the races, but if he's in a race, he seems to be sticking.
Yeah, absolutely, and that is a good point, because Taz has been pretty consistent, and I'm sure he won't be unhappy with that position. I mean, he's improving, and that's the whole thing with RWB. We always help the younger members and the younger people. There's always going to be people more than happy to sit on a practice server with players and give them some hints and tips. And if you are new to racing, if you are new to sims and that, come along, join us. We do mini league races on a Thursday night. We do all sorts of stuff. We're trialing out. We're actually trialing on a Wednesday, I think it is, starting at 7:30 at night, as opposed to 9:30 starts. So, again, if sometimes things that have stopped you from coming along has been the 9:30 starts, come along at 7:30 on a Wednesday. Enjoy the racing. We're always racing fair. We're always racing clean. Join Discord, and we're always having a laugh in there as well. As long as you've got a good sense of humour and you can take a battering for being a newbie, come along.
Yeah, it can be a bit fruity.
So we got 9.5 minutes to go. Charger, have you been watching the stream? Or?
I have. I was having internet problems, and I think it's because of this weather. So I've had to drop the quality down a little bit.
Rightio. So we're 9.5 minutes to go. I haven't really. It's a bit difficult actually, because I've been waffling on for like an hour non-stop. Well, usually you can have a bit of a break, but I'm trying to. Obviously, I think at the moment, Helmet, Hacks, and Force are pretty much destined to get P1, 2, and 3, unless they have an off. There's some real gaps. There's 31 seconds now between Helmet and C-Hacks, and 11 seconds between C-Hacks and Force. I'm just trying to think though. I mean, player of the match. Obviously, that went to Flack last week, but this week, could you help me on this one, mate? He's gone quiet. He's having a good old thing.
No, sorry, I was actually pressing my key. Was it not registering? There's a couple actually I'd pull up. Possibly Scott. Because the top 10 is pretty good, as we know. To get in the top 10, they're fast.
Yeah. For me, the racing with Milan tonight was absolutely epic, and I think we've got Beer and Bean and people like that to thank for that. Was it Bean? Yeah, we got Beer and Bean and people like that to thank. I mean, Gabsy has ran an absolute stellar race tonight, in my opinion. He's currently in 5th place. He's been consistent. He's been great. He's been racing really hard tonight. So from a point of view, quality of racing, I think Gabsy for me. But then Scott Free as well, as you said, to be. I mean, I'm just looking on at Ferguson. Ferguson just tried to have a poke at Gabsy for 5th position again. So we're going to follow these guys at the moment, because Ferguson is by far not happy and not willing to give Gabsy that 5th position yet, with 7.5 minutes to go. So he's really on the back of.
Cheeky, that is.
Ferguson just went wide on the 3rd or 4th corner. He's got DRS again, but Beer is coming to. Is that Beer? No, he's okay. He's not lost out to anyone yet. But that was really close, and that was really hard racing. But Fergie just lost the back end, so we'll go back onto Gabsy now. I mean, I don't necessarily want to give someone man of the match for finishing on a good position. But I'm just trying to think.
I'm thinking about improvement.
Yeah.
I would throw it out to YouTube. Who do you guys think has?
Here we go.
I mean, obviously,
yeah.
Who do you guys think has improved over time?
So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. With two people potentially up for race for a match tonight. We've got Scott Free. Scott Free has shown continuous improvement through these leagues. He's been quick all night tonight, and he's been consistent all night tonight, and he's been in that mid-pack, and he's been fighting well. Or you've got Gabsy, who started quite far down and has just slowly made his way up all night in the Audi DTM. Those are the two. Unless Helmet's car blows up or C-Hax's wheels fall off and Force does a 480 degree in the air and then blows up in a fireball and kills a load of people in the viewing boxes, we'll leave it to you guys to decide. But with 5.5 minutes to go, we've got 21 runners out of 26 left. We had Charger go on an early, unfortunately, with some software hardware issues. Marco went. We haven't had a full reasoning as to why Marco went. Visar unfortunately went. He failed and ignored a drive-through penalty, so he was disqualified from the race. Milan's ballast was too much for him. That was great racing to see Milan struggle through tonight. I mean, to be fair, Milan, I mean, we probably won't give him man of a match, but Jesus, he raced such a tough race tonight. And then RWB Napone, he just had a real tough one tonight, and he stuffed his car, basically.
Yeah, it seems to have been a night for a lot of mistakes. I don't actually know if there's a problem with drive-throughs on this, because I pulled a drive-through, but I'm sure I had about 10 seconds left to slow down. For 0.1 second I had for a slowdown, and that's what gave me the drive-through, 0.1. And I was like, I've got 10 seconds, I can just lift, you know, for a millisecond. And I could have sworn I had time left to take it, but it gave me a drive-through. I don't know.
We're just on board with Rick Binnisley, FX, and Fabio Ribeiro. Fabio and FX are 0.6 together away from Rick Binnisley for 13th position. We're currently watching on board with FX at the moment in the Audi DTM. He is right on Rick Binnisley's tail. And when I say right on Rick Binnisley's tail, I mean he is challenging in every single corner. He looks quicker, he looks more poised and precise, and he looks, if he's got it right now, has he got DRS? He's got DRS. He's using it on the bend on the main straight, and he's going for it. He's on the inside line. He's going to get an easy overtake here. That is FX overtaking Rick Binnisley. That was a great overtake by FX. A little bit wide into that first corner, but I think he can hold that. Fabio Ribeiro just needs to... Oh, it looks like he's had an off. It looks like he's had a slight off, which is giving Rick Binnisley a bit of breathing space, but Binnisley won't like that at all. I say Rick Binnisley won't like that at all. It looks like Rick is now on FX's chuffer, but I think FX just managed to get DRS again before Rick could have the play there. So, and it's been quite tactical for the guys this race to kind of pick when their DRS points are, and if they overtake after the start-finish line, they get DRS again. So. Really good racing from FX, Binnisley and Fabio there. I mean, this is the nice thing is tonight is race director's actually working properly for once, so we can be on board with John D right now, challenging Beer as well for 8th position. It looks like Beer's just managed to keep it there, but they're on the main straight now on the start-finish line, and are we going to see that DRS open up for John D? No. Beer's on the defence. He's straight on the left-hand side, but he's moving over to the right now for braking. John D's got a better position, and he might have a better drive out that first corner, but it looks like Beer has just managed to keep it again. FX and Binnisley still challenging for 13th. But with 2 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's just have a look at Gabsy, actually. Gabsy, who's now right behind Dave Crew, his teammate. Gabsy's challenging for 4th position now, Charger, against his teammate. This is quite... With a minute and a half to go, Gabsy's going on the inside, and I think he's got the overtake done. Gabsy's just taken 4th position. You know, this race tonight has just had overtake after overtake being done. It's been great. And he's got it done. He's got it cleared. He's got Dave Crew out of his sights, and he's managed to create that gap between him and Ferguson. So That's Gabsy 4th, Dave Crew 5th, and Ferguson 6th.
Yeah, Scott Free's up to 7th as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we had a couple of votes in there. Rodders voted for himself, even though he didn't race.
He's a Scot, though, so... I think, so we're going to give Man of the Match to Scott Free tonight. I think he deserves it, to be honest. He deserves it. I mean, this chap here, Gabsy, he was very close to getting it, but, you know, Scott Free, new member, he's been consistent. Team Orders Inquiry, Rodders is saying on the YouTube chat. Yeah, you might get that, especially now that Dave Crew's being challenged by Ferguson. With 30 seconds to go, Fergie's got DRS. Is he going to go on the inside of this main straight? I don't think he's going to have the legs, but he's going to bloody try. They are right behind him. I mean, Dave Crew's got to hate this. His teammate's just taken him, and now he's got Fergie right behind him. He's absolutely relentless, but Dave Crew's got DRS as well, but I think Ferguson's going to go for the overtake. He's going on the outside on this Parabolica. If he's a bit better on the brakes, can he get it? No, he can't. Oh, we're going to have to follow that one later, but at the moment, there's the race timer has gone down, and let's just look at this guy here. RWB helmet. He's coming into the last straight. Is this, or it's a... No, he's just started a new lap. I mean, Bill, this guy, he's just started his new lap. We've got about a minute left of this racing. What's your take on helmet tonight? Has he just played into the ballast zone quite well, or has he just raced an absolutely mental race?
I think he's cheated, personally.
There we go. Where's the little ding, ding, ding? Helmet is cheating. It's all right. Later on, Helmet said he was going to come out and announce he's gay like Philip Schofield did. So, you know, I mean, I'm waiting for that as well.
Don't do an Eamon Holmes on him.
No, seriously though, for Helmet and for the people watching this race tonight, I think everyone's in agreement that this young man has just absolutely smashed the race tonight. He had a bit of a ropey start, but he's been dominant. He's led the race. He's held people off. He's not even had to hold people off, to be honest. This is RWB Helmet. He's in first place. He's racing on the last corner. Well done, mate. Let's just watch him go through now. Stellar race for Helmet. Stellar race. Doing a little wiggle. Going past his pit crews. There we go. Second place, Hacks. I knew Hacks was going to go mental tonight. I knew he was going to put an absolute good effort in. He needed to. Hold on. That's just... there we go. Sorry. Auto Director's going a bit crazy there. It's switched over to someone else. Well done, Hacks. Second place. Well deserved that. He's been wanting that, and he's doing a little wiggle as well because he's happy. And Force, I think podium's well deserved for Force as well. He's not been in anyone's way. He's again been well deserved, and he's doing a wiggle. They're all wiggling. They're all wiggles. But yeah, well done. Dave Crew, hold the boat. Dave Crew's back in fourth. Gabsy must have had an off. Well, what? I've not been able to keep up with it tonight. Gabsy must have had an off, or was that a team order? I don't know. We'll have to... that's interesting. But so Dave Crew fourth, Gabsy fifth. Ferguson finished in sixth place. Scott Free, this man, he's finished in seventh place. You cannot take that away from Scott tonight. He's even done a little wiggle. He's so happy. Beer has finished in eighth position, not too far from Scott. John D in ninth position, good recovery. Ben Davis 10th, great position there. Rigel, so unlucky tonight, but he can't take that away. He almost finished in the top 10. Mark Bean in 12th position, FX in 13th, Fabio Ribeiro 14th, Rick Binnersley in 15th, Al Garner 16th, RWB Pazza 17th, 18th Medicine, 19th Allwyn, 20th Taz, and 21st Robert De Vries. Charger, would you be kind enough to bring Helmet, Hacks and Force down, and Mr. Free as well?
Not a problem.
Cheers, dude. Thank you. I need to clean this shitty fucking commentary box out while you bring him down, because Tiger clearly can't be bothered to turn up and commentate or clean or do anything. Absolutely mental. Mr. Helmet.
Hey.
Well, that was certainly a little race for you tonight, wasn't it? I mean, so Helmet, look, commentating tonight, I have not stopped. Everyone tonight has thrown up absolute mental racing and great racing. But Helmet, just wanted to talk to you about your race tonight. You're a bit ropey, a bit shaky on the start, I thought, and you had people straight away challenging you. Take us through your start and your dominating finish. Go for it, mate.
Thanks, DeBuG. Yeah, just with the qualifying, I was really chuffed to be on pole and just trying to get away really and drive a smooth and quick race. I did have a few scary moments and a spin near the end of the race as well, which my heart was in my mouth and I thought I was heading for the wall. And I thought, no, I've done it. I've done a helmet and ruined the whole thing. But no, I was really pleased with that. Probably one of my best races actually. But to take nothing away from everyone else, DeBuG, I was running, not much ballast to be fair. So I think it does make a big difference in these cars from what we saw when we were commentating.
Yeah, absolutely, and we'll talk into that a little bit afterwards. But no, great cracking race, mate. Very consistent. We didn't notice your off you had or your spin you had because, but we did notice Hacks did make some time up you towards the end. But no, great race, mate. Well done, well deserved. Hacks, mate.
Jumping in and commentating, mate, at the end.
Not a problem at all.
I think you're cheating. Actually, I said in the stream, I think you're cheating. How?
Oh, God. Hacks, mate, that was well deserved, I felt. You had an absolutely cracking race, and it was quality watching you up front fighting against Helmet and battling him and giving him a good old challenge at the start. Pretty consistent race, mate. You wanted that. You were hungry for that. You must be happy with that position, but I'm sure you were thinking if Helmet had a bit more ballast, you'd be challenging him for that P1.
So, first of all, I want to congratulate Helmet and welcome him back. So, I know he's had to miss a couple of races, so it's phenomenal for him to sort of get back in the car, first race in these cars. He did have 30 kilos of ballast, but there's no way, even if we were on equal footing, I would have been able to keep up with him. He had a commanding sort of 30-second lead, so there was no way I was going to get him. So, congratulations, Helmet, mate, it's well deserved.
Well, thank you. Good drive to you, mate. Really good. You kept me honest at the start there for sure.
So yeah, my race was interesting. Yeah, so I had a lot of sort of battling in the sort of first half, I guess, in the first stint just before I ended up pitting. I was battling with Gij Collie, I think, who definitely had a bit of pace on me. He was definitely faster than me. I was just trying to. Once he got past me into second place and I was in third, my plan from that point on was to just stick to his back end, make sure I kept that 1 second gap so that I could get the DRS. But unfortunately, I made a couple of mistakes and he managed to get away. And I just got my head down and just tried to keep as consistent as I could to stay on his rear. He made a couple of mistakes. I think his tyres went off. I managed to catch up with him. I got the DRS again. Then I ran into the back of him and I was absolutely gutted because he was 3 seconds ahead. Rigel was then a second and a half on my arse. I decided to go into the pits. I pitted. I came out. And when Rigel came out of the pits, he was just ahead of me. And I just managed to sort of get around him on that first out lap. And I'm not sure what happened, but I think he got a penalty. And then Gij Collie sort of was 2 seconds behind. I thought I was going to have another sort of battle with him catching me up. And then I think he got disqualified. So after that point, all of my sort of competition was out of the race, and I was able to just get my head down and crack on.
No, it was superb racing, and we were luckily we were actually on board when we were seeing you take Rigel on that right-hander, and it was absolutely fantastic overtake, and it was clean and fair as well. So that was a really good job. You're absolutely right. Rigel did have a drive-through, and Rigel got a second drive-through for speeding in the pit lane on his first drive-through, so he was quite unlucky. And yet, you're absolutely right again. Vizar tonight, unfortunately, as we said earlier on, he got a disqualification for not taking his drive-through penalty. But these things happen.
Just like to say, another cheater. He's got a knacky force now.
And finally, but not least, Force. P3, we kind of feel again that you deserved that. You drove a pretty fair, consistent race, all race for the entire 60 minutes. It was really entertaining as well watching you battle. Again, buddy, you must be pretty happy again with that young man.
Evening, gents. Yeah, I'm very happy with that. Third again, so I wasn't expecting to be that high up this week. I've been struggling with this track. The first half of the race, I had a couple of issues. I ran wide, I think. I lost control. My driving started to get a bit erratic, so I settled down, and then I think I hooked in behind Rigel, and I stuck with him for quite a bit until he pitted. I pitted the following lap, and I expected to obviously come out behind him, but obviously I heard he had an issue. So the second half of the race for me was just about trying to maintain the gap to the person behind me. It was a bit of a lonely race, really. I just had to keep my head down and try and keep it in times. But no, it was a great race, and hats off to Helmet and Hacks. They was well done. Definitely didn't have the pace to challenge them. So I just settled down in my position and tried to keep it in the times.
Excellent stuff, buddy.
And I'd just like to add another cheater uses emotion.
Shut up, you.
Sign.
And finally, last but not least, obviously, as everyone's aware, we always, at the end of these races, we give a race driver of a match as well. It was between two people tonight, Gabsy and Scott Free. But in the end, we put it down to our YouTube viewers to make the final decision. Scott, mate, you drove an absolute stellar race tonight, real improvements. And for us, me and Charger watching you, it's more how much you've improved over the last few weeks. So, I mean, you did a really good result tonight. I believe it was 7th in the end.
Yeah.
Consistent, awesome. And again, it was so entertaining watching you driving as well. So, mate, tell us about your race. Did you enjoy it? You must have enjoyed it, finishing 7th.
Yeah, the first race I loved. The second race wasn't so good. This race felt really good. I wasn't expecting. I think I came 4th in qualifying, which was a shock, and I got a good launch. I was keeping up with everyone. I think I ran wide. I went too deep on the first corner. I cut it a little bit, and I got a penalty.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't get rid of it, and I moved out of the way of one of the Mercs was behind me, and then I couldn't move out of the way of the other guy who hit me. And I went off, and I thought that was pretty much it. And then I had a few ropey laps, but then I kind of got into it, and it was from there. It was pretty good. I think I had a good few battles with Davey. I got a bit of a warning last race, so I was taking it easy, trying to leave people space, and I ended up getting on the pit, which was a nice way to get past them. Less work. I think I don't know if you guys saw my incident with Beer in the last 3 minutes on the first corner. So we'll see how that works out. Hopefully, I think I had the apex, but I think he turned in Momney. But we'll find out, I suppose, after the race.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, mate. I'm not sure if we did catch that or not, but no, really good drive, and it's something which you should be really pleased about. And,
thank you.
Definitely. So that is us wrapping this up. Thank you very much.
I'd just like to add, not a cheater.
Thanks.
No, we'll wrap. Oh, go on, Helmet.
Yeah, I would just like to say, Charger, thanks for those INI files you sent me and the other lads. That was much appreciated.
Shh.
Jesus. Right. Wrapping this up now. Thank you very much, gents, for giving us an entertaining race tonight. And thank you to everyone in racing tonight for giving us an absolute stonker. It has been fantastic tonight, and it's been great to watch. Thank you to everyone who's been watching on the YouTube stream. Oh, God. And thank you for Charger for coming in after you had a shocking race and you did really crap. And remember, boys and girls, don't race alone, race RWB. And we will see you in the next week. Bye-bye. Bye for now.